Hello, good evening. We will wait just a moment before we get started to see if there's any latecomers. Today, we will be using a mat and a chair and a small towel. So we're using 3 props today: a mat, a chair, and a small towel or scarf. It can be a tea towel, it can be a hand towel, whatever you have kicking around. Your feet will touch it, so just you have been warned. All right, let's hop right to it. We're going to start sitting on our chairs. There we go. And we're going to go right into a foot release. So let's actually come to the front of our chair and sit up nice and tall and just feel our sit bones grounded down and the top of the head reaching towards the ceiling. We're going to cross one leg over. I'm going to switch like this so you can see and just start working into the middle of the foot. Working just with your thumb, giving a little massage between the big toe pad and the heel. There's a big tendon there that helps the big toe kind of point and flex. And if you point and flex, you can probably feel that tendon contracting under your fingers. And so just give that a little rub down. Giving the heel a little squeeze around its kind of big, or on my foot, it's a big calloused perimeter. And from there, weaving the fingers in between the toes, finding that kind of webbing, and just giving the toes a little wiggle back and forth. And give a little rotation in one direction and a rotation in the other. And then scissoring the toes. So you're going to take the big toe and the pointer toe and scissor them back and forth. Scissor the big pointer toe and middle toe, and just go down all the toes like that, scissoring. And then each toe, give it a little pull out. Don't pull it so hard that it cracks. If you get a little crack by accident, lucky you, but don't force anything like that. And then we're going to scooch our tushes back on our chair, having our heel on the seat, and comb the leg upwards, feeling the blood rush back towards the heart, helping the veins push that blood along. Especially if you've been on your feet or you've taken a long walk, this is really good for that. And just because it feels really nice, with your fingers, just kind of squeeze up the front of that shin, that muscle that's on the outside of the front of the lower leg, and just kind of palpate that. It also might be a little bit sensitive if you've been doing a lot of walking on cement. The feet and the lower legs take a lot of a very big beating that we don't ever truly recognize, I think. All right. And let that foot down and then just give it a couple heel stamps out to jiggle out that calf. Other side. Here we go. Cross the leg over, making sure you're sitting up nice and tall at the edge of your chair. It's still an opportunity to practice good posture, and we're working into the middle of the foot. Taking note of that tendon between the big toe pad and heel. And giving the perimeter of the heel a little squeeze. And weaving your fingers in between your toes, finding kind of those duck feet almost. And giving the toes a little point and flex, just a little wiggle, finding some tractioning in those joints, relieving any crunchy stuck feelings and rotating in one direction. Rotating in the other. And scissoring each toe. And giving each toe just a little pull out. Bringing the heel to the chair and combing upwards. And while you're doing this combing action, you can go as gentle, so almost like caressing the skin, to really squeezing like it's a tube of toothpaste that's maybe really stiff or something. And the more pressure you use, obviously, the more energy you move. And from there, giving the front of the shin a little palpating. Good, and sitting up nice and tall and just giving both calves a little jiggle out. Let that muscle be loose. All right, we're going to come to that crossed over position again. Our top foot is flexed. We're sitting up nice and tall. You can use this shin as a little bit of leverage. Thinking about trying to get that knee parallel. As you can see on me, I'm a little tight in my rotator, so it won't be parallel, but one day it will be. And hinging forward, feeling a stretch in the glute. And breathing deeply. Let's be here for 5 deep breaths. Seeing if you can coax that glute into a little bit more relaxation. Seeing if you can hinge ever so slightly forward. See as you're deepening this if any information comes your way that you kind of just need to take note and put in the back of the brain. That could even be a note of, I should do this every day. And one more big breath in. And on the exhale, go a little deeper and come out of it. Whew. Other side, crossing the leg over, sitting up nice and tall, inhaling in, and on the exhale, hinging forward. And now seeing where our asymmetries live. Between the hips, between the glutes, maybe even between the knees and the shins. Feeling the stretch in a different way. We are here for 5 big breaths. Seeing where you have points of tension, and if you can yield to those points of tension, not let go, but release into. Seeing if you can go a millimeter further, finding a millimeter more of a stretch. We take a big inhale in. On the exhale, we deepen and we release. Good. We're going to go into the front of the hip now. So we're going to come to the side of our chair. One hand is going to go in between our legs, and the back hand is going to come over the back of the chair, so we're in a nice sturdy position. We're going to come into our seated or our supported lunge, basically. And so the leg that is closest to the outside of the chair is going to press back. And you can adjust until you get into a nice supported lunge position. And this back leg can do whatever you need. If it's straight, great. If it's bent, great. If you're playing in between the two, great. If you need more, the same leg that is pressed back is going to reach out, up and over the back of your chair. And you're going to live here for 5 big breaths. And we release it. Coming to the other side. Coming to the side of the chair, one hand in between the legs, the other hand drapes along the back of the chair. Into that supported lunge, our leg presses back, adjusting so you feel comfortable. If the knee is bent, keep it bent. If you want to straighten it, straighten it. If you want to play between the two, play between the two. And if you want to go deeper, the arm goes up and over, getting deeper into that psoas. And we are here for 5 big breaths. And we release it. And maybe give it a little shake out. Let's come back up to sitting. Let's interlock our hands behind the base of our skull. Our elbows are nice and wide. We take an inhale in, growing up nice and tall. Let's have the feet nice and wide, so a huge, sturdy base. So like nothing narrow, but a big, sturdy base. Think about like a New York train man spreader or something. And we take an inhale in, and on the exhale, let's tuck the chin and look down. Take an inhale in this forward fold position and exhale, seeing if you can tilt a little forward. Inhale and exhale, dig a little deeper. And on the next inhale, release the hands to the knees and roll up, a little spinal stretch. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, hands interlock behind the base of the skull. On the exhale, you grow up, the chin tucks and you look down. Inhale in this forward fold. And on the exhale, you go a little deeper. Inhale. And exhale a little deeper. Inhale, you place the hands on the knees and roll all the way up. Good. We're going to come to standing and we're going to come to the back behind our chair. I'm just going to move it so you can see me in profile. And we're going to put one leg back just into our deep calf stretch. So we're kind of going right now through our series of entry stretches. We've been doing these since day one of this series. And like all of these, if it's too much, do less. If it's too little, do more. And if it's not the right stretch for you, sit it out. This is for what you need and no one else. I'm just here to give you a couple of tools. And we just feel that calf releasing. And if you have tight calves like me, there is a lot of information coming in. Whew. And when you have that stretching sensation, it's a great opportunity to breathe. See if there's any points that you can relax. So right now I'm reminding myself that I'm stretching my calf and the front of my ankle can be relaxed. I'm stretching my calf, maybe I can relax and lengthen in my hip. I'm stretching my calf so I can actually relax my shoulders as well. I'm working on my calf, not my shoulders, not my jaw, not anything else. And we're going to bring our foot to meet that one and switching sides. And you can also play here with bending the knee and straightening it. Right now, I'm really enjoying a straight leg, so that's where I'm going to live in this moment. You can choose something else if you need. And I want to remind myself that we're breathing deeply, that the front of the ankle can relax, that my shoulders can relax, my jaw can relax, my glute can relax. I don't know why I'm tensing my glutes. I'm working on my calf. Oh. And sometimes we forget that if we have tight calves, maybe we have tight feet, or if we have tight feet, maybe we have tight calves. A lot of the tendons and muscles that are in your feet run up and through your lower leg. So not the calf muscles specifically, which attach down near the heel, but a lot of tendons from the tops of the feet and the bottoms of the feet also run through the calf. And we're going to meet our feet together and just walk them in. We are going to take our hamstring stretch on our mat today. But before we do that, we are going to do a little quad stretch. Pardon me. So we're going to hold on to the chairs for a little bit of stability with our outside leg. We are going to grab the foot. You can have that ankle flexed or pointed, whatever works best for you. I'm going to flex because I feel a little bit more. Without letting the knee creep out to the side, we're going to try keeping it straight as if you're standing on an invisible shin. We're going to take an inhale in And on the exhale, you're just going to press the top of that foot into that hand, seeing if you can direct your knee down to the floor more and tucking your tail under and just getting into the front of that thigh. And we're here for 5 big breaths. And you can release that down. And just stand for a second and see if you have a different sensation between the legs. All of a sudden, this leg feels longer to me and I need to even it out. So you can turn around onto the other side of the chair. I'm just going to move my chair so I can still face you. And we're going to do the same thing. Grabbing the ankle behind, having the foot flexed or pointed, whatever feels best for you. Take an inhale in. And on the exhale, feel that knee driving down to the ground. The tail is tucking under. I have a soft supporting knee, so I'm not locking out, but it's soft and it's supported. There's a small bend in it. And we're here for 5 big breaths. And release. And enjoy that symmetry. I'm going to move my chair to the back of my mat. My back of the mat will be here today. Back of my mat with the seat facing. If you don't have room, just move the chair to the side. We're going to come down onto our backs now. We're going to wrap the towel around the middle of one foot. So my towel is kind of at the base of my heel, if you want to see like that. And we're going to roll down and feel a little hamstring stretch. And if you need that knee bent a little bit, you can totally bend that knee, whatever works for you. We take an inhale in and an exhale, and we'll just be here for 5 breaths, and then we'll work with a little bit of resisting and releasing. But first, let's just wake up the back of that leg. You can even try swaying the leg out a couple of inches or in towards your midline a couple of inches. And bringing the leg in often gives you some really good sensations along the outside of that leg. And bringing that leg back to center, we take an inhale in. And on the exhale, we resist and we push our foot into that towel like crazy. Push, 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 push. And on the, take an inhale in. And on the next exhale, release and see if that leg can come a little further. Inhaling in. And on the exhale, push, 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 push. Inhale, you keep pushing. And on the exhale, relax and release it and see if you can bring that foot a little bit further. Last time, inhale. And on the exhale, push. Push, push, push. Inhale, keep pushing. And on the exhale, release. See if it can come a little bit further and let that leg float down. And maybe give it a little shake out. Good. Other side. Wrapping that towel around the base of the heel, adjust it so it feels good. We take an inhale in and an exhale, and we live here for 5 big breaths, just getting into that hamstring, waking it up, playing with swaying the leg a little out, a little in, seeing if you can get into some other fibers back there. I feel this deeply in my calves, so this is telling me that my calves are quite tight right now, that I should be working on releasing them. And bring that leg to center. We take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, we resist and push against that towel. We inhale, we keep resisting. And on the exhale, we relax and we bring that foot forward or closer to our face. Inhaling in. And on the exhale, we release. Inhale, you keep resisting. And on the exhale, you release. One more time, inhale. And on the exhale, pushing. Inhale, you keep resisting. And on the exhale, you release and let the leg come closer to your face. And you let it come down. Maybe give the legs a shake out. Whew. Let's roll onto our side. Coming up. And we're going to have one leg bent, and the other leg is going to come on top as a little weight. And then you're going to walk, both of my feet are flexed. This helps protect my knee. And you're going to walk back a little bit. And if you don't feel a stretch, try flexing the glute muscle of your bottom leg and pressing that hip forward, getting into those hip flexors, that thigh muscle. And release and switching sides. I love this one. It gets really deep for me. Making sure that both feet are flexed, bringing that top leg on top, bringing the hands back, inhaling in. And on an exhale, relax into it if you can. And if you need more of a stretch, tighten up that glute muscle, press those hips forward. And release out of it. So just to let you know, we are at the 30-minute mark for those of you that only have half an hour. Thank you for being here. For the rest of you, if you want to stay, I'm going to do 15 more minutes with the support of Foxy, apparently. All right. See, are you stretching too? Good kitty. All right, we are going to go into our lovely, lazy circles. So let's come to the mat. You're making this very inconvenient, I know. With the arms out to the side like a big human T, we're going to stretch one leg and the other leg is going to go up and over. So you're kind of in a lazy, sleepy position, right? Somebody feeling needy right now, aren't you? All right. And so from here, our top arm is going to do 3 circles. And you're going to follow those circles with your eyes. Do them nice and slowly. Taking moments in the spiral where you feel the stretch, where you feel the twist. Enjoying it. 3 circles in one direction and 3 in the other. When my arm is on the high diagonal, I enjoy staying there for an extra moment. I can feel my pec and the fronts of my shoulders stretching out. And then once you've done 3 circles in one direction, you go in the opposite direction. So the hand will come down and up and around. And on this one, going in this direction, I like to spend a second more on this up and around, kind of that apex of the movement, and I feel it really deeply in my ribs and armpit, and it feels quite nice. Good, and once you've done that side, let's do the other. You can just turn onto your back and turn onto the other side. And once you're in that kind of sleepy position, your arm is going to go to the front, up around your head, and open up to the back and side. Taking a moment to work out those stretches. Hi, honey. And once you've done 3 in one direction, you go in the other direction. And here I like to take a moment in this up and over position, feeling that armpit stretch out. And once you've done 3, let's come up to sitting. And we're actually going to do a little exercise from Pilates called the mermaid. So we're going to come back to this kind of like Z-like leg position. The front leg is flexed and bent in front of us, and the back foot is flexed and bent behind us. We take an inhale in, bringing one arm up. And on the exhale, we release over. We take an inhale here, feeling if we can expand this movement or position more. And on the exhale, we reach a little bit further, hand come all the way up. Other side, inhale, exhale, over. Inhale, increase this movement. And on the exhale, reach a little bit further, hand come up. One more time each side. Inhale, exhaling over. Inhale, exhale, increase, and coming up. Last time on this side. Inhale, exhale, inhale to increase. And on the exhale, reach a little bit further, coming up. And now we switch legs. And expect this side to feel vastly different than the other. We inhale. On the exhale, we reach over. Inhale to increase. And on the exhale, reach a little bit further and come up. Other side, inhale. Exhale, reach over. Inhale. And on the exhale, reach a little bit further and come up. One more time each side. Inhale. Exhale, over. Inhale. Exhale, reach a little bit further and come up. Last time, inhale. Exhale, reach over. Inhale. Exhale, reach a little bit further and come up. Good. Let's grab our towels. Come to a comfortable seated position. If sitting on the floor is not comfortable for you, take a seat on your chair. That's why we have them there. We are going to hold the towel in one hand, and that's going to go behind us, and the other hand is going to grab the towel, and then you're just going to inch your fingers closer to each other, so it'll look like this. And just play with opening up that shoulder a little bit and be very, very gentle. The fronts of the shoulders, the chest, it's all delicate. And so 5 breaths here. And after your last breath, let your top hand let go of the cloth and switch sides. The other hand holds it and you put it behind the back, and the other hand grabs it and just fit your fingers inch towards each other until you feel a good stretch, opening the chest. You can almost resist your head against that top arm. And 5 big breaths here. And releasing. And now we're going to come to a more wind down. And we're going to come to our chairs. Putting our lower legs on the seat of the chair and laying back, adjusting, do a couple wiggles so you feel comfortable and that your legs feel supported. And here, before we go into kind of our relaxing, let's put our hands on the tops of our thighs and press away on an exhale. Inhale, release the hands. And so we're seeing if we can just physically manipulate the spine just by getting a little bit more space, finding more tractioning in between those vertebrae of the lower back. Inhale. And on the exhale, press into those thighs, feeling the head work in opposition to those hands and thighs. Inhale, release. Exhale to press. Seeing if we can find a longer spine. And now, this is very inconvenient, Foxy. Now we're going to bring our hands behind our head, cradling our head. And we're going to do the same thing and give our head a gentle pull out, seeing if we can find more length in the neck. We inhale in. And on the exhale, tractioning that head along the floor. Inhale, release. Exhale, giving the neck a little pull to see if we can find some space in that upper back. Inhale, release. And exhale to pull. And lower that head down with that newfound space in that neck and upper back. Giving your upper back or your torso a hug with your arms. Seeing if you can expand those ribs on the floor. Letting gravity and the weight of your arms expanding that rib spine connection. And take a few big breaths here. Closing the eyes. Concentrating on the breath. Checking in with the jaw, making sure it's relaxed. Checking in with the torso and the stomach muscles and making sure they're relaxed. Melting the spine and the points of contact into the ground. So you're melting the back of the head, the upper back in between the lungs into the ground, the sacrum and the bottom into the ground, and the calf muscles into the chair. Letting the legs relax. Then we take one more deep breath here. Then you can either stay here with your eyes closed and enjoy this kind of meditative position, or you can join me in opening your eyes, moving your feet down to the ground, rolling onto your side, pressing your hand into the floor in front of your chest, pressing down to come and sit up. And that was your bedtime stretch. Sorry, my cat decided to participate. Yeah. Did you have a good class too? Yeah. Thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely night. Sleep tight.